Hey there, Coach Martin with EPO Sports Experience, just here with your weekly devotional for Crossing Home. Coach Oakes has graciously asked me to fill in for this week, and so wanted to step into that opportunity and just help him bear this burden. Man, this guy has a heart for y'all. Trying to make sure you get great content through your week to keep you inspired. It's just my pleasure to be here and support our brother. I've been with EPOS since 2019. I've coached defensive tackles and helped out with offensive line as far as the football program goes over the last 2 years that we've been in Stillwater. This year I get to step into a little bit more of a role, and so if you guys see me around camp, please stop in and say hello. Today's message, I'm going to take us through Hebrews chapter 12. We're doing a little bit longer reading for you guys, and then I've got a story for you afterwards. It starts in verse 1, and we'll go through verse 11. I'm reading out of the New King James. Therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which is so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him who endured such hostility from sinners against himself, lest ye become weary and discouraged in your souls. You have not yet resisted to the point of bloodshed, striving against sin, which also means to resist sin. So it hasn't cost you your life, is what it's saying. And you have forgotten the exhortation which speaks to you as sons. So this is a quote out of the Old Testament. It says, "My son, do not despise the chastening of the Lord, nor be discouraged when you are rebuked by him. For whom the Lord loves, he chastens, and scourges every son whom he receives." If you endure chastening is discipline. It's God's discipline that he uses to develop maturity and character within us so that we can become mature believers. God deals with you as sons. For what son is there whom a father does not rebuke or does not correct or does not discipline? But if you are without discipline, of which all have been partakers, then you are illegitimate and not sons. So if God's not disciplining you, you're an illegitimate son. We have had human fathers who corrected us, and we paid them respect. Shall we not much more readily be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live? For they indeed, for a few days, chastened us as seemed best to them, but he for our profit, that we may be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastening seems to be joyful for the present, but painful. And nevertheless, afterward, it yields the peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. So basically here, the author of Hebrews is trying to tell us that during our journey of life, and as we pursue Jesus and his holiness and his justice, and we learn to walk in our faith correctly, we should be open to correction, be teachable. Many times as coaches, we struggle with athletes or students that think they know better or have a way that they think things should be done. One of the greatest attributes as an athlete is to be coachable, to be teachable, to be willing to learn from other people other than the one coach that you really like. Being able to learn from the coach that may be a little harder on you. There's lots of opportunity out there for us to learn if we'll just accept the training. We have to be able to open our minds and not limit ourselves. So the story that I have for you actually comes back in 1954 and a gentleman named Roger Bannister. He's famous because he ran the first sub 4-minute mile. I believe it was 3 minutes and 59 seconds is what he clocked it in. It happened in April or May of 1954. And what's interesting about that is before he did it, while he was in training, many doctors told him that he couldn't do it, that his heart would explode, because no human had ever been clocked at under 4 minutes per mile. Now, that's a great story, but the interesting thing is once Roger broke that in 54, by 1958, 20 individuals also ran sub 4 minute miles. And the bigger aspect of that, to modern day, there have been over 20,000 human beings that have ran sub 4 minute miles, even high school students. So what does that tell us? That tells us that we can mentally limit our physical capability because we listen to the wrong sources. So my encouragement for you today is to remember Hebrews 12, 1 through 11, and how it talks about allowing God to discipline us. I hope you have a blessed day. Have a great week. Look forward to seeing you at camp. Love you guys.